everybody. I'm your host, Charlie, the Professor Esser. And with me, as always, the man who makes it all possible, the visionary, the man whose mind has been opened to all of the cosmic wonders that are the MCU and beyond.
Fill me, and Perich.
That's the one. Hey, Phil, so glad you're here, as always, to talk about a lot of stuff, but let's be honest, there's only one story out there just sucking the air out of everything. And that, of course, is Avengers Infinity War. If you haven't already done it, go back, go down the list, listen to the two roundtable discussions we had on Avengers Infinity War, because honestly, this is a film we're going to be unpacking until at least until Ant-Man and Wasp, and probably well until the next episode of Avengers comes out in 1 year's time. But one thing I really wanted to touch on, because I actually went back and I did a rewatch of Avengers, which was really hard because it was not on any on-demand service that I have. And I have got 3 on-demand services. None of them had it. I've got Hulu, I've got Netflix, and I've got DirecTV Now, and I have HBO. Actually, I have four video services. None of them had Avengers, but FX or FXX was running it, and I did catch it at 5 o'clock. I had to watch it on my cell phone. Well, not watch it, but listen to it on my cell phone while I was driving. I was driving home from work at 5. And there's one key scene that I had to listen to, and of course that's when my Wi-Fi got spotty. But all that said, I do still believe that my original theory is correct, which is Thanos didn't give Loki that scepter. It's implicit, but it's not explicit in that film. Now, it's possible there is a scene where someone says, we gave you that scepter for a reason, Loki. Go, take over the world and such. But if Thanos didn't give Loki the scepter, if Loki had the scepter, that changes the entire dynamic of not just Avengers, but everything up into Infinity War. So,
do you think maybe if Loki had the scepter to begin with, did Thanos only work with him to get close to it?
Well, it's assuming that Thanos even knew there was an Infinity Stone in there.
Ah, true.
But here's what I'm going to say. This is one thing, again, in rewatching the Avengers, I noticed this. The stones talk to you. Because Selvig makes the point about how, the stone has awakened the Tesseract. Because there he's only talking to the Tesseract. But he says the Tesseract has spoken to me and opened up all these things that I never could possibly understand. When he's being very thankful to Loki for helping him out. But here's the thing. We know the stones have personalities. Because if nothing else, we know that there was something in the Mind Stone that created both Ultron and Vision. That there is a sentience to these stones. And it started me wondering, what do the stones actually want? And I'm going to write a nice blog about this, but I wanted to give you guys a sense of it here. Because I realized something. Yeah, I'm going to write a blog. Every so often I do those. I always curse myself for not writing, except for posts about how I don't write enough. Okay, so picture this. What is the first stone? The first stone that Thanos actually gets? He said he got it a week ago in the story of Thor, during the events of Thor Ragnarok. This is what Thanos did.
Was it Power Stone?
Right, the Power Stone. And where did we find the Power Stone?
Didn't the Nova Corps have it?
Well, yes, but where did they get it from?
The Guardians.
And where did Quill get it from?
Ronan?
No. Originally, he got it from that old desolate planet.
Oh, yeah.
And now I want you to remember something about that planet. It was tore up. It was messed up. Looked a bit like Thanos' homeworld Titan, It wasn't Titan, but it looked like that. It was all that. Even had like that messed up gravity thing that they're talking about being off its axis.
Oh yeah.
But when Quill's there, he uses his little past tense projector. I don't know how that works, but it does. And it shows what that world used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you see all the people running and playing and living that life. And he goes to the temple of the orb. And now imagine this. What if the Power Stone agrees with Thanos? Because this Power Stone was in this world. And the Power Stone used its power, or the people in that world used that power, no doubt to create that paradise. Because they created that sustainable energy world the way that Nick Fury talks about. You know, the Tesseract could be our key to sustainable global energy, yada, yada, yada. And what if that is actually what the Power Stone was? But as we also know from the way that these stones do is the stones are able to go dark when they are in a bad mood. Because remember, the Tesseract goes dark for decades.
Mm-hmm.
That it awakens for the skull and Arnim Zola. And then after as the skull says, spoilers, by the way, if you haven't seen Infinity War yet.
Yeah, Red Skull's in it.
Yes, but as you said, he was cast out. So up until that moment, it was willing to be used, and then as soon as it has been, when the stone sours on humanity, soured because of course it met the Red Skull. You know, nothing makes you madder at humanity than a Nazi. And the Tesseract casts him out, as he says, and then the stone goes dark. Goes dark until it is opened, as Hawkeye says, from the other end of the door. And who has the ability to open the door? Think about this for a minute. What's the one thing that actually opens that door? What does the machine do? What is the key to the machine that we see at the end of Avengers to close the door again?
You mean the first Avengers?
Yeah, the first Avengers. Yeah, we're talking first Avengers. Spoilers for the first Avengers. Because if you haven't seen it, it's a good movie. It's by Joss Whedon. Not nearly as much feet as you'd expect from a Joss Whedon production of that nature, but still very good.
Well, don't they have to use the scepter to open? You know.
Yeah, they use the scepter to close it again because the stones are connected. And here is my crazy fan theory. What if Loki isn't the one who forms the Avengers? What if it's the Mind Stone?
Oh.
What if Loki, after he's been cast out of Asgard, he's wandering and he finds the scepter and he comes under the influence of the Mind Stone? And the Mind Stone is sort of what's guiding, it's working with him, but it's also manipulating Loki. And when Loki comes across Thanos, the Mind Stone realizes that what Thanos wishes to do with the stones, the Mind Stone rejects.
Oh, yeah, because the gauntlet was all melted after he snapped his fingers.
Well, that's because it was a lot of power, you know.
Could at least one of those stones have been fighting him too, though?
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, that's my point. Is that I think that many of the stones are fighting. I don't think the stones themselves are actually working together. Well, I mean, they work together because they have to. But I think that at the end of the day, they all want different things.
Maybe.
And that's why the Power Stone, because the Power Stone saw what Thanos had described of a planet that was once, that no amount of power could ever truly make it a self-sustaining paradise. That the Malthus paradox, or the Malthusian doom is inevitable, is the idea. That the sentience will eventually destroy everything.
Maybe somebody brings back all those people he snapped out of existence. Maybe we get a new gauntlet because doesn't Peter Dinklage have the mold to make another one?
Yes, actually, Peter Dinklage still does. I do think he's Etri. His name is Etri, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Etri. I believe. Yeah, he still got the gauntlet. But here's actually the most important thing about that, because this is a little bit of a fan theory. The people didn't actually die.
That's yeah.
Because if you look, when they do that little fade off
away.
to dust, that's the same thing that happened when Thanos used the Reality Stone in the Collectors.
Oh yeah.
So it's that same look, that same effect. And so what he did is he altered reality. But what is the one thing we saw about that altered reality? As soon as Thanos left, what happened?
It turned back to normal.
Yeah, including Drax and
Mantis.
And Mantis. They turned back into what they should be, because the Reality Stone only had an effect in that place of space. Now, I think this is something that's kind of that if you want to give yourself a fun idea here, that the stones have to work together because the Reality Stone is limited, but then the Space Stone is what allows its power to go across the universe. So that it doesn't have to be in the room with it, and then Time Stone and all these kind of things, that they all work together, and that's how you can make these massive changes. But as soon as that glove comes off of Thanos' hand, everybody comes back into existence.
Well, what if some of those stones are fighting each other now too? Because what if some of them are? What if they were all in sync before, but within the last couple of decades, some evil men have tried to do evil stuff with it? The Red Skull, Loki tried to use it for nefarious purposes. Thanos, I mean, killing half the universe. That's pretty evil. I mean,
well, here's what, and this is my big prediction for Avengers 4. And for the record, the writers of Avengers 4 have gone on record to say it's not what you think it's going to be. Which is kind of a weird backhanded thing, because how do you know what I'm thinking it's going to be? That you're going to say it's not what I think it's going to be. But they're basically saying it's not going to follow. And basically what I take from that is that it's not going to follow a normal plotted idea. That whatever you think is the most logical way for it to progress, that's not how it's going to progress.
I still wonder what that name of the title's going to be, because they said before this one even came out, they're like, oh, you might give stuff away. So once we see that title, we're probably going to be like, oh, okay, I see where they're going.
Well, here is my prediction. The title will be Avengers Infinity Stone. And do you know why it's the Infinity Stone?
Why?
Because it's the stones rejoining into a single entity. The Infinity Stone. And then the Infinity Stone, and this is the other possibility. It'll be called Avengers Shaper of Worlds. Because that Infinity Stone is then going to evolve.
Oh, instead of the cosmic cubes evolving, this will be the stones evolving.
Exactly. That's just my little theory. But it's a possibility. But there is another possibility that could come to pass that actually goes back to our old theory, which is Avengers Inferno. Because here's the thing that happened. When Thanos snaps his fingers, he doesn't kill people. He takes them out of existence. Half of all the souls, trillions upon trillions of souls in the universe, blinked out of existence. Some of those souls were probably horrible sinners. And if those souls that have now been removed from existence were destined to go to the realm of Mephisto, how do you think he feels about all of this?
But do you think they're really going to be gone, or are they like going to be in the Soul Stone, maybe?
Well, they're probably in the Soul Stone, and they actually have stated that that scene where Gamora is the child again, and they're in that orange-skied world. That's within the Soul. That I think it was Joe Russo actually said that was the case. And it is possible all the souls were still there, but the idea is that if they've been blinked out of existence, if they didn't die, Mephisto can't claim their souls. So there is money on the table that someone stole from him, and Mephisto, he wants his money back. So will the Avengers make a literal deal with the devil in Avengers 4 Inferno? Because they need someone who has that power, and there's only
Avengers
yes,
one more day.
Well, Avengers one more day. Oh, you know what? That's a possibility, and you know that would give away a lot if they had come out with the fact that it's going to be called Avengers One More Day. You know, people are going to be, they're going to be like, what does that mean?
Because I'm still hypothesizing that either maybe Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans or one of those original Avengers sacrifices themselves to bring everyone back.
Well, you know, Wisecrackers had a very good theory. I posted it to Facebook about using the philosophy of what we see in the Avengers. And what they actually suggest is that Robert Downey Jr. will be the one who brings everything back because he's the one who has had the emotional arc and the spiritual growth of the Avengers films.
Wow.
And comes to the idea that, you know, we don't trade lives.
And plus, Doctor Strange gave Thanos the Time Stone so he wouldn't kill Tony Stark. So maybe that's in the one vision he had that, you know, out of the 14 million or whatever that they actually won in. Mm-hmm. I heard the theory that what if Doctor Strange did that, so because maybe in the only scenario he saw they won is maybe they needed Tony Stark for something. They had to have Tony Stark. Yeah,
you pay Robert Downey Jr. that much money, he becomes important to the story. Mm-hmm. You know, it really is just that simple. He's important to the story because he's Robert Downey Jr. and we spent good money on that. We spent good money on that, Robert Downey Jr. We need that.
Plus, Thanos knows him.
Yeah, Thanos knows him, which I think is going to come up with Captain Marvel. And hey, favorite thing about that end credit scene in Captain Marvel?
The pager.
That Captain Marvel is set. Yeah, it's set in the 90s and it's a pager. I love that. I just love the idea that Captain Marvel has a quantum pager.
Yeah, because that's weird that he's still using the end credit scene was in the present day, but he was still using a pager. So does this mean Captain Marvel was not on Earth, or else why would she have a phone?
Well, exactly. Yeah, she's not on Earth. She's out amongst the stars, doing stuff as Captain Marvel does. Now, what'll be interesting, and this is what I'm going to tell you: how do you connect a pager across space and time?
Are we sure it's time? Are we sure it's time? It's not just space.
Well, space. That's fine.
Yeah.
How do you connect that pager? It's obvious when you think about what the next movie is.
The quantum realm.
Exactly. That pager was designed by none other than Hank Pym.
Got the 90. Yeah, I mean.
Yes, Hank Pym made that pager. And I would not be surprised if Hank, because they've talked about how they're using that youthening technology all over the place in what do you call it? Captain Marvel, which means we're going to get young Hank Pym, we're going to get young Bill Foster, we're going to get all these people in that past world. Old Peggy Carter, ironically enough. Everybody's young except Peggy Carter. It'll be fascinating how they do it. But this is my prediction. Mark my words. Hank Pym designed that pager because it communicates through the quantum realm and that quantum connectivity. And that was his big thing. And that's the whole point, is that this is going to communicate between any distance because it goes to the quantum realm. And now, if you saw the Lego for Ant-Man and Wasp, did you see that where they have the submarine going into that quantum realm?
No.
Yeah, they're doing a whole impossible voyage thing there. So it's honestly, I am very excited about Ant-Man and Wasp because I know that it is going to tie into Infinity Wars. That they're going back into this. Going back in time is actually going to be setting up Infinity War. And I think everything that happens in Ant-Man and Wasp and Captain Marvel is going to strongly inform what we see in Infinity War.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, especially these days, the timing of these movies isn't a coincidence.
Exactly. So, very excited about it. What else is there? I haven't read Captain America yet, but I did read Avengers.
Okay, what did you think of Avengers #1 again?
I thought it was interesting. So now we have the Death Celestials, I guess.
I know they took out those old Celestials, man.
Yeah, the classic, the Celestials classics. Although I don't even know if a Celestial can really die. No one even really knows what a Celestial is.
Was there an issue with Thor where he went in one of their armors and like he couldn't even make heads or tails of it?
I'm sure they all do that. I mean, inside the armor, it's all crazy.
Yeah, it looked like
because they're basically
like funky,
they're basically black guy.
Yeah, like funky landscapes and weird energy, and he got attacked by stuff, and yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting because who recently became a Celestial? Who recently became a Celestial?
Kurt Russell?
No, not in the MCU.
Oh, okay.
In the comic books. An Inhuman causing lots of problems predicting the future.
Oh yeah. Ulysses, yeah.
Yeah, Ulysses became a Celestial. So what if that ties into this? That the death of the Celestials relates to this human evolution interfering with celestial politics. Anything's possible, man. The Celestials are an interesting thing to have at this. Going back to the Avengers 1 million BC, that was fun. As fun as things get. So I guess Ghost Rider is an Avenger now, or is going to be.
I guess so. Yeah.
Has any Ghost Rider ever been an Avenger?
I don't think officially. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, hey, that seems new to me.
Well,
good for Robbie Reyes.
Well, is this if you look at the choice of membership, it seems like everyone's has been in the live action MCU, either on Ghost Rider, the Robbie Reyes was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
Most of the rest of these were or are going to be in the movies, except for Jennifer Walters.
The best one, yes.
So does that mean there's things?
Does anyone here know a good lawyer?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there things that come with her, or do they not have access to Banner, and that's why they did it?
Well, I mean, clearly they're doing their own thing with Banner right now, and Banner is not.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe
the Hulk is not a.
Yeah, because he's like on the run. Maybe that's why they're like, no, we can't put Bruce Banner in here, so you can have Jen Walters.
Yeah, well, Jen Walters is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loves Jen Walters, and she can break the fourth wall if she needs to. She has that Gwenpoolish superpower. And Gwenpool comes back to save the Marvel Universe.
And don't make creepy passes at her. You wouldn't like.
Yeah, well, yeah, not for nothing. Honestly, that guy had every little bit coming to him.
Oh yeah.
And it's not like she murder-lated him or anything. She just,
green
told him to go the heck away.
Went green and scared him. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what you do when you can turn green and scare people. But yeah, I mean, it was a good issue. I'm interested to see where it goes. I kind of wish I'd read Avengers 1 million BC at this point, because obviously that's important. But in the meantime, it's all very exciting, and we'll see where it goes. I am very interested in reading Cap, because this is Mark Waid's last issue on Cap.
No, start the new run. I'm thinking next issue, because it said to be continued.
Okay, so yeah, and who's taking over it again?
Ta-Nehisi.
Ta-Nehisi Coach. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Ta-Nehisi. Man, he is letting his nerd flag fly. He is like, yes, I get to write Marvel Comics. I am the biggest nerd of all. All you have to do is become an award-winning writer of important political prose, and then suddenly you too can write for Marvel Comics. Mm-hmm. That's all you gotta do, folks. Just become one of the most acclaimed authors of a generation, and then Marvel will let you write comic books. But you got to start off with a smaller character like Panther.
That's all.
But once you show that you can handle it with Black Panther, they're gonna say, okay, we're gonna let you write Cap. So and that's why everyone's all upset about them not having a Nobel Prize in Literature this year, because they're like, oh, this is my shot at writing the Fantastic Four. don't do me like that, Nobel Committee.
Well,
I won a Nobel Prize in Literature. I would totally get to write the Fantastic Four because everyone knows they're coming back.
But we were speaking of stones. Did you you didn't read Infinity Countdown #3?
No, no. I haven't. I am not reading I'm not being a good comic book nerd. I have not been reading my comic books.
But
and tomorrow's free comic book day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I gotta go get comics
and buy something. At least buy.
I'll buy stuff too. I always buy stuff. Don't worry. Don't worry. I buy stuff. Don't worry. It's not that far till payday.
But yeah, no, we were talking about the Infinity Stones. Remember, and I was telling you in this, the Power Stone was like the size of a small hill. Well, they figured out it's all mind over matter because Star-Lord's able to shrink it down just by thinking about it.
Wow, Star-Lord?
Yeah.
No, good for Star-Lord.
But but also in this, we got Adam Warlock because guess who was trying to control the Silver Surfer?
Who?
Hank Ultron.
Hank Ultron? Oh, yeah. No.
I dubbed the Hank Ultron.
I like that. That's a good name from Hank Ultron.
But yeah, the Surfer escaped. But this is what you'll be interested in. The last page, the Surfer, he tries to control the Surfer, but the Surfer gets away. Guess who he goes to for help?
He goes to Galactus the Lifebringer because I read the spoiler.
Yes. That's right.
And tells him you must destroy a world again to save the universe.
Yes.
Bum bum bum.
What say you, Galactus the Lifebringer? Will you consume one world? ... to save the entire galaxy?
Yeah. So, see, this is my biggest complaint about all this stuff. Do you know how small a galaxy is in the expanse of the universe?
Starts so well. Maybe that's the point. Maybe it's like Galactus. You don't eat it. Gotta eat just a little tiny speck to save a little tiny bit of it.
Well, no, but I mean, it always makes me wonder, like, what's going on, like 3 galaxies over. Well, obviously, we know 3 galaxies over is the empire of the dark of the Star Wars universe.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting point. That those galaxies, that galaxy far, far away, it could be contemporary with Marvel Comics just long ago, back in the 60s.
But I know you know this, but it's coming out next month, right? Century.
The Century series. Yay! Return of the Century. I'm excited. We'll see if they screw him up. I hope he teams up with Gwenpool. Because those two will have a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Should be like, they didn't introduce you to, like, what, 2000 something?
Yeah, you're not that old. Or she'll explain to him, well, your power is you can retcon things.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you say happened.
Oh, and what?
It could be his Yoda. Gwenpool as Yoda.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm surprised you didn't bring up about Avengers #1?
Mm-hmm.
The sliding time thing, because Cap said they were talking about Cap being frozen for the first 40 Super Bowls, which they said probably puts him as coming out of the ice in like 2006 or something.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, we knew that. We've known that for years because the last big reboot of Cap has him being all excited that, oh wow, there's a colored president now. Well, hey, Nani and a ha cha cha. I guess America is a great country after all. Wah wah. Yeah, 8 years later, man. Although I'll tell you this much, you know what's great about the Trump presidency?
What?
It totally fixes the sliding time problem with the Secret Empire story, the original Secret Empire story. It was supposed to be Nixon and got that sliding time, but you know what? All comes back around. Sort of like how, now.
Yeah, but
an Afghan vet, not a Vietnam vet.
Yeah, but
all kind of
wouldn't Cap be like, instead of no, not him, they'd be like, makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it just shows you the rhyming of history. Yes, history does not repeat, but it certainly does rhyme. Okay, but yeah, I'm very excited about my Avengers Infinity Stone theory, and my proposal that the next film is going to be the Infinity Stone singular, because it's about the stones coming together to reform into that first stone, and that is going to become the Beyonder of what's the fifth Avengers film?
What?
Avengers Secret Wars.
Yes.
Because the Russos have said what they'd really like to do once the whole merger goes through. So I'd love to do an Avengers Secret Wars film.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to call it Infinity Stones. They're going to give it a fancy name, like Avengers Infinity Crusade or something.
No, they're gonna call it Avengers Shaper of Worlds.
Ooh.
And people are going to be watching and singing that. Oh. That totally makes sense to have the Shaper of Worlds evolve from the Infinity Stones, because what was the last being to manipulate them all as one unit in this film recently?
Thanos.
And what does the Shaper of Worlds look like?
Isn't he based on the Skrulls in the comics?
Well, yeah. The Skrulls and Thanos are both all based off of the deviant race, which have the crinkly chins. Thanos actually has pointy ears too. They decided not to give it to him in the film for reasons.
Deviants, you say? A possible connection to Eternals, you say?
Yes, which is coming. They're saying they're going to do an Eternals film.
Yep.
Honestly, I guess they didn't learn their lesson from Inhumans.
Or maybe they did.
Or maybe they did. Yeah, maybe they did. And they said, you know what the lesson of Inhumans is? Don't hire
Scott Buck, you're not touching this.
Yeah. No, Scott Buck. You are not welcome here. We don't like you, Mr. Buck. You made us sad. Okay, yeah, but that is that exciting new things coming in the near future. Also coming very soon, I believe in June, we have is it June or July? The drop date for Cloak and Dagger.
June, I believe. I think it's beginning of June.
Yes, Cloak and Dagger is coming, and I'm really hopeful this does take place in the MCU, because I am inclined to think that Runaways did not, and that really makes me sad that it does not. Because I actually enjoyed Runaways, but like in watching it, it really seems like this was not part of the MCU, and that's a disappointment.
I wonder if this is going to take place at least a couple months back, though, too, because unless, because you can't be like, oh, hey, half the world just disappeared, or if you can't go out, you really can't go after it, because you might give spoilers. So,
yeah, well, it obviously takes place previously on
the MCU.
Yes. Well, and speaking of what's going to happen, they do say that Infinity War does tie into the latest Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And from the way the producers are talking, it sounds like they are going to get renewed. Because they went from talking like, oh, yeah, this may be our last season, and now they're like, yeah, man, with Infinity War, this is what it opens up to us. So I get the feeling that even if ABC is being soft, Disney was like, we got you. Start thinking about what you're going to do with Infinity War and Infinity Stones and Infinity Universe. And wouldn't that be amazing if Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. dealing with a half-empty world. Half the people in the world just disappeared, and now S.H.I.E.L.D. has to step up to take care of this thing. And who's the last man standing?
Coulson?
Phil Coulson. He's getting too old for this. He's got a big old black necrotic tissue in his chest, but dang it, I gotta go save the universe one last time. Me and Graviton.
I thought this was it, but I found that Cloak and Dagger premieres June 7th with a 2-hour premiere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I imagine that Cloak and Dagger takes place previous to this. So it's going to be in the MCU, but probably contemporary with like earlier in the season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You know, it's going to be interesting, whatever it winds up being. But I'm very excited by it. I do think it is going to be in the MCU because we do get that big Roxxon logo.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Roxxon is going to be central to the plot, which I love. Because, Roxxon is cooler than LexCorp. I'm going to say it.
No.
And yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited about Cloak and Dagger. I'm excited to see where it goes because they're definitely playing with the origins and playing with the story. And honestly, I like when they do that because, as people will point out, that Thanos we just saw, that was in no way the Thanos we know from the comic books. This was a much better Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that this is a much better Thanos than the one we have in the comic books. This is a good Thanos rather than just a bad guy Thanos. This was a Thanos that actually had a plot and a point and a purpose. And I like that.
Good Thanos.
Well, not good, but better.
Yeah.
Anyway. Any other thoughts for tonight, Phil?
One last thing.
Throw out there?
One last thing before I forget again, because I forgot on our second roundtable, I do have a voicemail from a young man who had thoughts on Avengers Infinity War.
Oh, goodness. Let's hear who this mystery young man might have thought about Avengers Infinity War.
Hi, this is Second Gamer, and today my ideas. I think the movie was great, and I thought it would be cool if in the next movie, in the next Infinity War movie, Venom would be in there, and all the bad guys would have to team up on the most powerful bad guy in the whole entire universe. And that's what I think how the second movie should go, and I think the name should be called Infinity War 2, The Last Chance.
Where can people find you on social media, Tristan?
You can find me on YouTube, and
What's your name on YouTube?
Hudson Gamer.
13.
Yeah. Hudson Gamer 13. And I do a lot of videos. I might have 100 videos. And I hope you watch them. Later.
That's right. Young Tristan Esser clocking in there with his opinions. I was telling Moaz before we jumped on the round table, I'm like, I saw Tristan Esser. I was half expecting it just to be like you, be like, this is Tristan Esser. Here are my superlative thoughts on Infinity War.
No, Tristan's his own man. He really is. Yeah. I love that he wants to bring the Sonyverse into the MCU, and I think we all want that, Tristan. I think we can all agree that would be great if we could get the Sony get Venom in there. That's one of the things I really noticed about the Venom. Tom Hardy is a very interesting actor, especially in that he does the way he plays Eddie Brock. As a guy who clearly has had a couple blows to the head, but is still pretty intelligent, I find that to be a very interesting way to take Eddie Brock. Like, well, you know who Eddie Brock's character reminds me of?
Who?
Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, Lord.
No, but if you think about like how Lou Ferrigno talks,
yeah,
because Lou Ferrigno's deaf, so he doesn't actually hear how he sounds.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got this weird speech pattern because it's all for you folks. He has no idea what he's saying. Well, he knows what he's saying, but he has no idea how it sounds. Oh. And it strikes me that I wonder if he's trying to do a bit of a Ferrigno there. That's my take on it.
I don't know if he's trying to I don't know if he has some mental issues because in the comics, after he loses his career, he's like blaming the whole thing on Spider-Man. He is kind of like he's gone around the bend. So
yeah,
I wonder if they're doing that here. But again, you have no Spider-Man, so how are you going to do it here?
Yeah, well, I think they're trying to take the best aspects of the Agent Venom run with Flash Thompson, and trying to force it onto the Eddie Brock story so that we actually get an Eddie Brock that's actually a little more interesting as a character.
Yes,
and it could be good. I'm excited about it. It amazed me how much Tristan knows about symbiotes. And he's agreeing with the movie. It's symbiote. It's not symbiote. It's symbiote.
Oh,
yeah, it's the symbiotes, man. Don't don't fight change, man. We only read the word. We never heard it said out loud. Now we've heard it said out loud. That becomes the canon.
Another Esser man taking a stand.
Yeah, mark his words though. Avengers, last chance. That is Tristan's prediction. Mark his words. If he's right, last chance. One more day. Kind of similar.
I don't know if we'll get that in 4, but maybe in 5, if they do Secret Wars, maybe we'll get some symbiotes in there.
Yeah, symbiotes. Yes, symbiotic symbiotes. And good old Spider-Man and his sentient armor that has legs. Oh, that was a great fan theory I read recently. Do you know why Peter starts freaking out so much more than anyone else does?
Why?
Spider sense.
Oh, yeah.
So even before he starts to fade away, he knows bad times are coming. And so he feels it because he gets this spider sense all over him about what's happening. And
yeah. I mean, it pounds harder the bigger the danger is, and if you're like phasing out of existence, I would assume that's a pretty hard spider sense tingle there.
Exactly. So that is the universe of the MCU this week. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is on tonight with Adrian Pasternak.
The woman who plays General Hale was on Arrow last night. She was playing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was playing that prosecutor.
She's a tough woman. She plays tough women. You know, that's her thing. Did she hail Hydra or hail Cobra at any time?
Well, no, but I mean, she was corrupt. She was working for the big bad guy, Ricardo Diaz, there because he was trying to get Oliver Queen arrested for being the Green Arrow.
Yeah. Well, he is the Green Arrow.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually illegal, but he is the Green Arrow. So, that's interesting.
All right.
Is it legal to be the Green Arrow? I don't know. Is that
they have the whole thing.
Well, the Green
now.
Arrow has actually committed a lot of crimes, including like several counts of murder.
Yeah. That came up.
He murder-related a lot of people that first season, and he really should answer for those crimes.
Yeah. I don't want to say too much. Well, we'll talk about it tomorrow, I'm sure, on Capes and Lunatics.
Isn't that guy go watch it on the CW app
with the triumphant return of Lilith Hellfire?
Oh, you know what Tristan really loved?
Huh?
Supernatural.
Oh yeah.
We watched the Scooby Supernatural crossover because it was the last day on the CW app.
Mm-hmm.
And he loved it, and then we watched the first episode of Supernatural. He enjoyed it. So, Supernatural, Toxin Gamer 13 approved.
Nice.
Okay, Philip, if people would like to reach out to you, talk to you, find out your thoughts on Infinity War and the Infinity Stones, because goodness knows I never let you get a word in edgewise. How can they find out what's going on in that big old brain of yours?
If you want to talk to me, you can email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I am at nightwingpdp. And hey, follow us on for Superconnectivity. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter at SuperConnectPod. So yeah, come find us.
And of course, you can always write to me in that old-fashioned email where Miles and Pods once said at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And of course, you're going to get a new Superconnectivity blog post soon, he said. And 5 years later, here it is. And of course, follow me on Twitter as I live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tonight at 9 o'clock or whenever it's on.
The first 15 minutes of for sure.
Definitely, until I fall asleep. I'm very old and very tired. At Chaliesa, that's CHALIESLCR. Look for the 2 E's in the middle for quality. Thank you for connecting with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please super connect with us again. Good night.
Good night. Sleep tight.
I'm still hoping the Elders of the Universe get more of a play in the MCU, though. I really want a champion.
Oh, yeah.
I want a champion. I don't care who is the champion. I just want one. You can get Terry Hogan in there. That's fine by me.
Lou Ferrigno?
Oh, Lou Ferrigno would be such a great champion. Lou Ferrigno would be the champion. Lou Ferrigno should be the champion. Make it happen, Marvel.